As much as we know of reservations as being troubled places, they are also places where there's an incredible kind of culture and communal love that happens. And I think the way I see everything, the way I see all of my art was formed there on the reservation, listening to my great-grandmother's stories, hearing the language, talking with my elders. I'm Natalie Diaz, and I'm a poet and linguist. Poetry's strange, and my arrival to it was, I think, a little bit unorthodox. I was always an athlete, and so for me, poetry is one way I center myself in my body, and the way that happens is that I really believe in the physical power of poetry, of language. Where we come from, we say language has an energy, and I feel that it's a very physical energy, and so I believe in that exchange. And to me, it's very similar to what I did on a basketball court. I began as a linguist before I became a poet, so that is a really important part of my poetry, is putting pressure on language and deciding what words, what phrases, make certain people's invisible and certain people's visible. When My Brother Was an Aztek is still a collection that I feel in my body when I read it. There is a brother who figures heavily into the work, but I had to do a lot of imagining to try to create a brother in the poem who had the capacity to hold my emotions the way they are in my everyday. And so that's one thread of the collection, is how do you love and even sometimes unlove a family member who is an addict? And more, how does that affect the ways the family loves one another? The last Mojave Indian Barbie was an interesting poem because I feel like it's the one where I embraced the stereotypes the most. Like, I really wanted to put my hands on them, and I wanted to be able to retell a story, breaking those stereotypes. I was also able to give a female some autonomy in that poem. The work I've done with my elders to help preserve the Mojave language is one of the most important things I've done in my life. And in some ways, I don't think I will ever write anything more important than the stories of theirs that I have written down. I am an Indigenous woman, a queer woman, a Latinx woman. What I hope my work can offer a queer writer or a queer identifying person in general is the space to, one, hold the ways we've been hurt and the ways we've been erased, and also to hold, in the other hand, simultaneously, the way we deserve love, our capacities for love, and all of the innovative ways we've managed to find to express that love to one another.